Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us here today. The man that we are here to support really requires no introduction. However, I think in seeking to do so, I find it instructive to consider the man in his own words. When he was first asked earlier this week if he were considering contending for leadership, he replied that he was giving serious and careful thought to what was best for his family, for our party and for our country. That, to me, sums him up, and in particular, his acute sense of duty. To many of us, he is a friend, a colleague, a mentor. To us all, and to the Scottish National Party, he is among the most steadfast, loyal and unstinting advocates of the furtherance of Scotland's interests and the cause to which we all dedicate ourselves. So, friends, with that, please show your appreciation for John Swinney.
Thank you for joining me at the Grassmarket Community Project, a venture that brings hope to some of the most vulnerable people in our society in the setting of a social enterprise. This place reflects my values, who I am, and it's therefore the right place for me to confirm that I intend to stand for election as leader of the Scottish National Party. I want to build on the work of the SNP government to create a modern, diverse, dynamic Scotland that will ensure opportunity for all of her citizens. I want to unite the SNP and unite Scotland for independence. One of the benefits of stepping back from frontline politics a year ago is that I've had the time and the opportunity to see our political situation from a different perspective than before. There is a huge amount that the SNP has achieved on behalf of the people of Scotland, and much about which we should feel very, very proud. The Scottish Child Payment, free university tuition, the massive expansion of childcare and much, much more. SNP policies transform lives. They lift children from poverty, give them a better start in life and enable them to go to university. Looking across these islands, with a UK election looming, the SNP alone stands up for ordinary people, for workers, for families. The Tories are targeting the weakest and blaming the vulnerable for the disaster they have made of the UK economy. They seek to divide, to blame, to polarise. And Labour disappoint, with policy after policy dumped in the empty pursuit of power. Only the SNP stand where the majority of people want their government to be, in the moderate centre-left of Scottish politics. That is where I stand. And if elected by my party and by Parliament, my goals as First Minister will come straight from that centre-left tradition, the pursuit of economic growth and social justice. Economic growth not for its own sake, but to support the services and the society we all want to see. I will pursue priorities that will make Scotland the best our country can be as a modern, innovative, dynamic nation. In an advanced Western society, child poverty is a curse. The government I aspire to lead will be focused on doing all in its power to eradicate child poverty. The Scottish Child Payment is a significant step, but we need to do more to raise more children out of poverty. The climate emergency is a real and present threat to our society, but we must design an approach to net zero that takes people and business with us. When resources are limited, they must be used forensically to make the greatest impact on the challenge that we face. Government must use its powers and resources to support economic growth and to ensure we create a vibrant economy in every part of our country. That means every aspect of policy, on planning, on skills, on infrastructure, must be aligned to support our aim of creating a successful economy. And I want ministers to be focused on the delivery of services on which the public depend, on health, on education, on housing, on transport, so people see their lives are getting better as a result of the actions of their government. And of course, the pursuit of many of these priorities would make a greater impact if the Scottish Parliament had the full range of powers of any normal country. I believed all of my adult life that Scotland's future is best served as an independent country. But I recognise that more people need to be convinced of that point before independence can be achieved. I want to focus my efforts on reaching out in Scotland with respect and courtesy to address the obstacles in the way of winning the case for independence, to persuade people that Scotland's future is best served with the powers of independence. There is no better way than that to build the levels of greater support for independence that are necessary to achieve independence. But today, I have to accept that my party is not as cohesive as it needs to be to achieve all of that. That has to change. I could have stood back and hoped others would sort things out, but I care too much about the future of Scotland and the Scottish National Party to walk on by. Having joined the SNP as a teenager, having helped bring my party from the fringes of politics to be in the government of Scotland, having served as a senior minister for 16 years, and having helped steer Scotland so close to independence in 2014, I want to give all that I have in me to ensure the success of our cause. I believe I have the experience, the skills, and I command the trust and the confidence of people across this country to bring the SNP back together again and get us focused on what we do best, uniting Scotland, delivering for the people, and working to create the best future for our country. The challenges the country faces, from the cost of living crisis to the disastrous Tory Brexit, mean that we need all the talents that are available to us. If elected, I will bring together the strengths and abilities of all of our people in a cohesive, inclusive team, including our councillors throughout Scotland, our members of Parliament in Westminster, and our members of the Scottish Parliament at Holyrood. We have many talented people leading the work of the Scottish Government. I want Kate Forbes to play a significant part in that team. She is an intelligent, creative, thoughtful person who has much to contribute to our national life. And if elected, I will make sure that Kate is able to make that contribution. And that will be part of a united team that draws together our whole party, which, given my deep devotion to the SNP, I think I am best placed to put together. That unity must extend beyond the government. That unity cannot be imposed. It can only be a product of how we conduct our politics. Our party must have a vibrant internal democracy. A few months after I joined the SNP, I was encouraged to attend a meeting of the party's National Council. I saw at first-hand internal democracy in action. Party leaders, my dear friend the late Gordon Wilson amongst them, questioned and challenged about priorities. That is how it should be. And that's the culture I will encourage in the SNP I lead. It is by being open, willing to engage and happy to debate that we bring people together. It is by giving people the space to speak their mind and the respect their opinions deserve that they are willing to come together and unify once a decision is made. That is my approach to my party, and it will also be my approach as First Minister if I am elected to that post. I believe in cabinet government. Ministers who are absorbed in their individual responsibilities, but making the links across responsibilities to tackle our biggest challenges. And ministers contributing to the common good by their participation in open, substantive cabinet discussion. That is how good government comes about. The SNP government does not have a parliamentary majority. That means we must work to seek common ground in the Scottish Parliament in the interest of the public and of good governance. That means our approach in Parliament will have to change, to listen, to compromise, to work with all other political parties. It might be a statement of the obvious, but I can defend myself robustly in Parliament. And once or twice over the years, I've had to do so. I believe also I've demonstrated that I can operate with courtesy and patience to pursue respectful dialogue and to achieve common ground with others. And lastly, people will ask, how long will I be around? I am no caretaker. I am no interim leader. I am offering to lead my party through the elections and to lead us beyond the 2026 elections, two contests which I intend to win for the SNP and for Scotland. So my message is crisp and simple. I'm stepping forward to bring the SNP together, to deliver economic growth and social justice, to deliver the very best future for everyone in a modern, dynamic, diverse Scotland. I want to unite the SNP and unite Scotland for independence. I invite everyone in the SNP and in our country who wants to join me in that journey to do so now. Thank you very much. Thank you all very much. And we'll now open up for questions.